What's good, y'all? Welcome back to She Gets a Podcast. It's your girl, Shan. This is season 12, episode 13, How to Love for Dummies. Y'all remember those how-to books for dummies that they used to have in like Barnes & Noble and shit when people used to go to the bookstore and Books A Million? Didn't forget about that store. But basically, how to love someone can be taught. But I just believe it's better if it's experienced. Because if you love a person better when you experience love, you know what to do, you know how to support them, you know how to prepare a place of peace because you knew what you needed when you were getting love. The other flip side of that coin is how you love may not be or feel the same for someone else. So, how you love, how I love, another person may not identify with those things that are being done and those actions as love. They may just think, oh, that's just basic things you do. That doesn't necessarily mean that you love me. That doesn't necessarily mean that you want me here. That doesn't necessarily mean that we were anything more than just this. And this is why communication is important. We can't be out here feeling like we're in love with a person through a computer screen, through text, through random FaceTimes. Like, you would have to spend time with the person to get real, authentic, genuine vibes from a person to see, like, do I feel what I thought I felt when we were here? Do I feel excited when this person walks into a room? Do I feel a connection with this person when I'm out and about? Do I actually want to hold this person's hand? Do I want to speak up for us and not just me when we are together? Like, all of that tells you more. It gives you clues on if you are loving this person the right way and if they can love you the right way. So welcome to class. How to Love for Dummies. After these messages. Yo, if y'all going to be in Texas in June, don't forget to check out Smoke Free Weekend on Eventbrite. Get your tickets and have a good time. I will be here in Georgia because I'm with children and I'm going to miss out. But I know Black Paco is going to throw a good event. Very Jamaican. Throw a good event. And everybody that goes is going to be good vibes, good food, good drinks, good people. Just all around goodness. So go enjoy yourself in Texas. June, I want to say 24th to the 26th. But check on Eventbrite, Smoke Free Weekend, to see about all that. So let's get into the show. You know, I got you, Paco. I got you, Pod Fam. Support. All right, y'all. So this is the point I'm trying to make. I'm not about to sit here and talk about love languages and shit because there's like a million bazillion episodes for that. Just put it in and you'll find one, right? I'm not here to talk about that. We know that exists. I'm here to talk about the common sense about loving people. Sometimes people hate hugs. So imagine you loving someone and you go in for a hug and they cringe inside. That doesn't mean that they don't love you. They just don't love that. And I think it's very important for people who claim or say that they love people to ask, what can I do? What can I do to help you when you don't feel good? What can I do to help you when you feel shitty? What can I do to help you when you're just frustrated? Like, what can I do? Like, that is such a simple question. I also think it's very important for people to respect other people's feelings and accept that they are not you. So, you know, when somebody's upset or somebody's sad or somebody feels one way and can easily bounce back, or you can easily bounce back and be in a completely different mood just like that, but they can't. And so now you're annoyed because they're not doing what you are able to do. That's not fair. You can't be like that. Everybody's different. Everybody's personality is different. Everybody's character is different. So just because it's easy for you to bounce back or for you to dead like relationships or dealing with people or talking with people, some people need to tiptoe out of that shit that they're in. You could probably do leaps out of that shit and be like, boom, boom, done. They have to be like, okay, I'm making plans. I'm good at adjust. And they might have to slow work through that shit. But you have to respect that. Just because you want to quick fix it doesn't mean you're going to help them. They will be right back where you move them from. So that's why you have to respect how people deal with people and maybe leave not so good situations. And I think the best thing you could do when you love someone and you care about something that they're having a problem with is to listen and be available. Sometimes you don't need to give you advice. Sometimes you don't need to speak. So don't overexert yourself when it's not needed. Okay? And I think we all can benefit from loving people how they identify with love, or else it will be wasted energy. And I know at least all of us have experienced a relationship with someone, romantic or not, where you felt like you wasted energy. If you would have just told me you didn't want this, or you would have just told me that you were over the relationship, or you would have just told me that you didn't want to be here. Stop wasting your energy. Stop wasting your energy fixing other people's problems when they don't want to fix them. Some people like the problems that they have, so they have something to complain about. That's truth, okay? You can love whoever you choose, but you have to acknowledge their needs also. Just because you say, I was loving you, I was doing this for you, were you really doing it for them, or were you doing it for yourself? Did you ask them if that's what they wanted? Did you ask them if they cared about those things that you were doing? Did you ask them if, they like gifts? Did you ask them if they wanted to go on these elaborate trips? Did you ask them if they wanted you to come in their life and clean up their mess? No. So you have to communicate. You have to communicate, because at the end of every day, after the last 5 years of your life, or 10 years of your life, or 15 years of your life, you got to look up and you got to see the only person that you were pleasing was you. And this other person has been feeling less than the whole relationship because you never asked, hey, is this cool? Do you like this? Does this do something for you? Are you stimulated? Are you satisfied? Do you feel fulfilled? Is there something I can work on? Is there something I'm not doing? Like, all of those are common sense questions that you should be asking somebody that you claim you love or you care about. Okay? You need to know everybody's what when it comes to your relationships romantically. And you may ask, what are you talking about there? What? Let me tell you. Okay. Let's start with a W. Knowing a person's what means, what is their idea? I hope you're enjoying it. Just, a little, do you know? Do you know that I created a Pod Fam support tee? What is that? It's basically a few t-shirts in different cuts. V-neck, crew neck, long sleeve, short sleeve. On podcasts to follow, like Doing Motherhood, The Black Widow, Chilling with Juice, Black Love Matters, and it's the BLAC, no K, Love Matters, right? Great podcast. Mind Triggers podcast, Young Black and Bother podcast. Shout out to Greg, Talk is Talk, Lear and Lionel. Everything Culture with Drake, BTG for President, Baylorism going out here hard, and the Bobby Dollar Show. There will be more Pod Fam t-shirts coming, but you can find all of those t-shirts on She Gets It shop on Teespring. All right, just Google it, put in Teespring She Gets It shop, it'll pop up. Or you could get a mug, some other t-shirts, and some new masks. But I love you guys. Thank you for supporting the show. If you just want to donate directly to the podcast, you can on Red Circle with the link in the bio. I appreciate y'all. If you want to check out other shows that I am doing, you can go to www.whoisshan.com. Now let's go ahead and finish this thing right up. Idea of tough love. Okay, you need to know what their idea of tough love is. Okay, some people may think that, ooh, that's a kind of abusive, or that's kind of like dismissive. Have that discussion. The H. How do they show affection? How do you like affection to be shown to you? Have that discussion. The A. Ask them how they like to be loved. Or ask them what is love in their opinion. Okay? Because you can't expect someone to show you love that they've never seen, that they've never experienced, and be like, oh, 15 months later, 15 years later, oh, they don't love me because they never did this. Did you ever tell them that you needed that? Did you ever have a discussion like, hey, I like when someone does this. I like to feel like this in relationships, and you're not doing it for me. You can't blame somebody for what they're not doing if you've never brought it to their attention or had a discussion. It's not fair. Okay? The T. What is the T? Not that T, because I don't gossip. That's not what I do. I'm talking about the touch. How do they like to be touched? What touches give them the idea that you love them? That is important, because you don't want to invade somebody's space. You don't want to trigger someone by how you touch them, whether it's from previous experiences that did not go good. So ask them, how do you like to be touched? What feels good to you? What can I do? What should I avoid? What are your triggers? Like, all of that, it needs to be discussed. You cannot sit here and say, oh, I love them. They know I love them. How do you know that they know that you love them? Have you asked? It's very simple, and I think people just make it too hard for no reason. Communication-wise can be off if two or more people, because y'all be doing some kinky shit as far as relationship goes, if two or more people do not understand each other. Okay? Just because you winked twice and you tapped your feet and you stomped out the room doesn't mean, oh, this is my cue to be like, oh, she's mad. This is something that's wrong. Or, oh, he's mad because, he's been sitting in that chair for the last 3 days and not take a bath. So I should go over there and get down on my knees and baby him and beg him to tell me what's wrong. Open your mouth and tell the next person what you need and what's bothering you. Because we can't be in relationships as adults mind reading. We just can't. There's too much other shit to do. The grass needs to be cut. The utilities need to be paid. There's toys all over the lawn. The kitchen is a fucking mess. There's stacks of laundry in the house. I got to do overtime. I'm on the computer. I got to get organized. I got to go to the bank. All of this other shit, you expect me to sit there and guess why you've been sitting in the same spot for the last 3 days? Sir, ma'am, no. Okay? Do you care or love a person enough to learn how they emotionally, mentally, and sexually eat or want to be fed? Let me say that one more time. Do you care or love a person enough to learn how they emotionally, mentally, and sexually eat and want to be fed? And if you can honestly say that you don't know or you don't care, then you don't need to be dealing with that person, because it's unfair, it's selfish at that point, and you're just basically using somebody as a bookmark or a placeholder until somebody else comes around. And that's just that's bad karma. All right? And I just believe that today people have too many phony options just because people look away on social media, or they like similar things on social media. It doesn't mean that they want you. It doesn't mean that they are for you. And it doesn't mean that they even see you. Okay? So stop thinking, oh yeah, I'm talking to this person, but this other person been in my DMs, or that we've been talking for a while and I just want to see where it's going. Even though I'm happy here, I want to see if I could get happy over there because they look different. What? We are suffering from phony options in 2021 and we need to stop. So when it comes to how you love someone, make sure you ask what you need to ask. My name is Shan. Thank you for checking out She Gets It Pod. Don't forget to check out the site. Don't forget to support. And don't forget about Smoke Free Weekend in Texas, in Houston, in June. Peace.